Hey there, how you doing? It's Chris, your friendly neighborhood internet Sherpa, back again with another one of those tips on how to bring bodies to the door, put cheeks in the seats, and of course, build your list. Today, I want to have a conversation with you about a topic that you may have thought about, but maybe you have not. It's in the attention realm. It's all about your audience. You're like, audience? What audience? Well, if you don't have an audience, you need to get an audience. Well, that would be my recommendation to you. Okay, so let me see if I can explain it to you. First of all, you got three groups that we are talking about here. You got clients, you got your list, you got your audience. You're like, no, I've got clients. I don't know what you're talking about. Work with me here. All right. Clients, pretty easy to understand who we're talking about. Folks who will put their biscuits in your chair. Kind of straightforward. Either they've been here today, they come back on a regular basis, or they hit you, they did a drive-by, you haven't seen them in a while. Doesn't matter. Clients, those are those. Now, if you are doing, higher level marketing, then you're collecting contact information. Maybe you have a quiz on your website. Maybe you have a lead magnet or something like that. Lead magnet is marketing stuff. Means some kind of a download where people give you their email address in exchange for something cool that has to do with something that you're trying to work with. Those are folks that you've got their contact information. They know who you are. They know what you do, but they haven't actually come and sat in a chair and thrown some cha-ching at you. Okay, but they're still in the same realm. Well, your audience is a third group of folks. They know who you are, they know what you do, and they find what you do interesting, but you can't contact them directly. So let's say you have a YouTube channel or you have an Instagram feed or something like that. People who tune in and check out to see what you got going on. You have an idea that they're there, but you can't literally reach out to them. You don't have their contact information. And what I want to talk about today is why those folks are kind of important. Now, in the bygone days, people would say, well, you really can't monetize your list. Likes aren't customers. That is true. However, let's not, downplay how important those folks are, especially in this day and age. Let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to it as to why those folks are important. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is building that audience. What kind of things can you do to build that audience? We'll talk about the why in a minute, trust me. But right now we're going to talk about how do you build it. Well, there's a handful of platforms. There's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all that good stuff. All of those social media feeds are out there. Things that people tune into and take a look at on a regular basis. Believe it or not, what you do, literally your job, is interesting to somebody. And if you don't believe me, just wander onto the internet and just type in what you think you do on a regular basis, and you'll see tons of content out there where people have basically taken videos of themselves doing that thing that you do every day because it's interesting to somebody. Believe it or not, somebody will, if you gave them the opportunity, plant their biscuits right in front of you with a favorite beverage in this hand and something to snack on this hand and just watch you go to town. I don't understand it. I just know it's true. It is what it is. And the thing is, knowing that is a thing, it's probably a good idea for you to take advantage of it. Now, in the bygone days, I used to always beat people up about building a list. And the reason why I say build a list is because it occurred to me when I was working with a massage therapist who a lot of his clients were the hairstylists and other folks who were in the mega salon he worked in, that there's a certain physicality to standing behind a chair for hours a day, years at a time. At some point, you may have to give it up. And if you don't have a plan for what's next, it's nice if you have an asset like let's say a 2,000 name list of folks that know, like, and trust you about a particular topic, because then you can throw value at them and they can throw value back at you. That's Internet Marketing 101. And the cool thing is you got your entire career to build that list of folks that trust you, that want to hear what you have to say about a particular topic. Well, that's where I realized, oh, wait a minute, this audience, it's the same thing except slightly different. And what I mean by slightly different is people will tune in and watch from afar. I mean, I'm sure that you know about plenty of people or clients that you have that if you've been throwing content over on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, that they said, oh yeah, I've been trolling you for a long time before they actually said hello. People who've been checking out what you put on there, checking out how you interact with the folks who are on your channel, all that stuff. Before they became clients, they were your audience. And these folks have value. So the thing that I want you to wrap your head around in this day and age, because the world has shifted from when I was a kid, those folks who will throw attention at you on the various platforms have value. And let me give you the first pushback that I know you're thinking. If they're not going to come sit in my chair, what do I care? Well, let's think about that for a second. How do people decide whether they're going to come sit in your chair? Well, it's not like they just go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, boom, and then just show up. No, they do a little bit of investigating. Now, you know that they're probably, especially if you're a massage therapist or something like that, they're going to check out your reviews. You know they're going to go to your website. You know they're going to check out your social media feeds. Well, when they're checking out all of those, if they're checking out your YouTube channel, assuming that you have one, and if you don't, you should, what are they looking at? They're looking at the likes on your videos. They're looking at the comments. They're looking at the number of people that interact with what you've got going on, in addition to the actual content that you're putting online. If you have a YouTube channel and you just started it and you have blessed few views or blessed few interactions, that's a different feel than if you've been doing it for just say, 6 months and you found a following and you have a bunch of views. That's a validation. So you can use this audience as an additional indicator to folks who will actually come sit in your chair that you bring a little something to the table. So they do have value. And oh, by the way, remember that list situation we were talking about? The folks that you can, when it's time for you to hang it up, the folks that you can, provide value to. There's a ton of different ways to leverage all of that attention that you've got so that you can build a second career if that's what you want. The bottom line is there's goodness in this. There's a whole bunch of goodness in this, and you need to start yesterday. And you don't have to be good. You don't have to be great. As a matter of fact, there's a certain massage therapist here in Las Vegas that's pumping Kool-Aid and refuses to stand in front of a camera. And I'm telling you, bruh, you need to get reps. The first videos, the first content you throw out there is probably going to be ugly. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you continue to do it. If you go to any of these channels that you're used to going to and you look at the older stuff, it's not pretty. The production value comes later. But first, get in the habit of creating, because that literally is the hardest part. When I was doing this episode right here, I had to remind myself, I have to put out an episode because it has to drop on a Monday. That's a responsibility that I have. I'm building my audience. There's a bunch of people that I want to serve that if they're not used to, if I can't get to them on a regular basis, if they can't rely on me to be there when I'm telling them I'm going to be there, it's not going to work. So here I am doing this right now. Start. That's all I'm going to tell you. Start. And even if you have to take like 30 videos before you feel like you got enough gumption to post something online, do 30 videos. Doesn't have to be long. Your style is going to change. The bottom line is build your audience, build your list, because it helps you build your clientele. And that's the bottom line. This thing called attention, the fundamentals you always hear me talking about, attention, conversion, consistency, and don't forget follow-up. It's all related. Building your audience is still in there. So whether you understand it doesn't matter. Just matters if you do it. If you're going to be doing this thing, take advantage of all the tools that are available to you. And of course, if you need some help trying to figure all this stuff out, just reach out to me, 702-582-6708. That's the voicemail line, or support@c2local.io. Well, I guess you would do info at, because we're not nice like that yet, because I got nothing to support you with, because again, you're not my customer. info@c2local.io. So reach out to me, and then I will get you what you need to know, and we'll get you from where you're at to where you need to go. Cool? Cool. Talk to you next week. Bye.